Charlie, ma gochten a smank, gukstetjem knunhunjums de gwenenkin o anoi de slachayim de bicham, ja Anna.
Kuksang. Als ooit slaan we gewoon slaan het alle het meegklaar en sinds after 60 years eigenlijk was de highest and slaan het meeg eigenlijk studenten some stipend low life en gaat Andrew Gilbert het toch klas pecham maar kotsats sinds Peter in my goed dat meeg de gevechten Peter in my goed gegooide stems achter helmen achter pechams I was in status I was knikken stel tenea het ooi in my goed dat meeg
Amy, if you can keep your hands off the table, then you'll be right out of the picture.
Okay.
ook stem gelijk hoort hem als gezet hem ze aan Amy dat ik man maar zo staan aan er gegooid het hand aan maar gewoon in de kozen zeg maar kwakken strijder maar ik sta in een strijder gevechten ik dik het ooit aan maar zo staan en dat ik hem dus ja
Birken.
en de gevechten de dikke dat daar als de ooit daar is Dicht north 150 there Jones Lake daar was een gogojolle van en het meest gevechten en sissen eigenlijk stuiten soms was het low hij maakt kotsats Jones Lake hij maakt mem low we'll go on a camp and we'll camp out for a couple of days. Maar cuando me aan de wagen als gaga Nicole time still quicken we'll go out on horseback and a team of horses in the wagon we'll camp out for a couple of days out there and out on the hard achter de gogojolig mensen strijden en ze laat het gewoon steeds strijden dat kan dus maar kwantum strijden goed strijden laat het gewoon steeds strijden terug ja dat kan dus strijden maar kwantum strijden dus gogojolig ons zo stolig ons dat kan dus het tenea ze klap small snelle speel oil helemaal kotsatjes en tlo
Sweaty bicham go. O anoi at la
en ankel en sissa Piet Sandy
oma
goede oils was een echt se select achter kotsatjes tlo sacan was hochklar, hochwas, Kotsatsklo, sacan in the courses line sleigh.
Oh,
In the courses actually them dowset low, the causet, she said, but it's Kracher, that's what, but it's Kracher, the cause koch actually, Kotsatsklo. The Bacham, slide, the Dutch, it would have been about 3-4 miles travel. Second, 2-3 hours. Sometimes we'd be on a sleigh or a wagon, or he'd have a saddle horse. My dad always had horses back there. We were always well equipped for camping out there. We'd be here on the reserve there one day, and Pete says, second, bachyaad, my kotzazet, my kind of pain, my says we'll get everything ready. I listened to them say why the stem still make. Second, I had a season shelled, copied, halted. See, I had a season my condom almost quit always almost condom close. He says we'll go on, we'll get things ready, we'll get our camping, we'll get our camp, our tent ready, our bedding. Sometimes we don't camp out, we don't make a tent. Climax done them, second, climax in the courses, or so it's like a wagon like sometimes we used to sleep in the back of the wagon if we didn't actually make a tent. In the courses there, what's that there, 150 knows 150. Second 2, 3, 4 hours from here used to take us about 4 hours. Listenberg, Zulcham Stasler, Caesar Peter, Lao, Bechtens, Ticum Dus, Wagos, Denia. 2 days, he says, we'll be up there. It take us about 4 hours from here on the wagon. It's a long wagon road up there. So one time I got up there, I was up at Jimmy McKenzie, Kathy McKenzie used to have a place there, but they weren't staying there at the time. There was just cabins there only. We stayed in that cabin. Litzenberg meadow, and Skost, Tmilks.
Sweaty, but cabins?
But Lord, Jimmy McKenzie as a Kathy. Oslo was das Tmilkslo, Pantlo, Jimmy McKenzie. Met Jones is dat rauskoch met Pete, Jimmy. You go out to Lichtenberg, out at our place, you stay there, you're welcome to stay there anytime you want to, and you go up there. Sometimes we didn't get anything at Lichtenberg, but there was another place for hour and a half past by Lichtenberg, east of 150, another hour and a half past Litzenberg Meadow, another wagon road up to the Henke Meadow.
Oh, ma'a.
Those were really isolated places in those days. They're just wild, more or less better than a cow trail or 4x4 road only, or wagon road, cattle trail.
Hakan na kolmukjin. O anyway.
Yeah. Kama slijpen Lois, daar was Oslo, gewoon dat een Secwepemctsi slijpen. En Sisse, daar was gewoon nog synonyms soms slijpen. Daar Secwepemctsi slijpen. It's different from now since I brought most of my language back. My uncle never spoke to me in Secwepem.
Oh.
Mostly English. It's different from my mom. Kan we stikken doorslaan en reizen, luisteren, kan nog snijden, soms schoppen, zien, soms slijpen, klo. Kleho slijpen, klo, daar was kan nog snijden, soms like zwart. Kan we piano's, gewoon toestonden, schoppen, zien. After sprak en wauw, dus gegloren spantlo, dus gewoon hartelijk gedaan. De koos achter sprak wauw, sprak en wauw, dus gegloren. It's different from when my uncle back there. But it's a lot different. I do a lot of self-talking in Shuswap now. It's called toestonden, ik hem doorslaan, Secwepemctsi.
Birken nunan skokouden. O anyway.
Daar van Tlo, daar is ooit slijden, maar gewoon. Ik was slijden. Van Tlo slijden, en schaatsen. Zal gaan staan, het Hannes Tlo, kokouden. Like horsefly, likely those. Eigenlijk schoolstessen slijden, kegen, Oslo, wauw slijden, en kaarten. They used to travel over the Comer Ranch, the Comer Meadow, and those places towards Horsefly likely. My dad gevechten Oslo East slijpen Tlo. En Oslo Pentlo klein en kaarten, Oslo elkstes kan we slagen, pechmes. Pentlo, take hem dus, reizen.
Ben ha'a birken go.
Pentlo, my dad would have been through the 1920s, 1930s when he used to work at the Comer Ranch.
Oh, ma'a.
That's outdoors likely. Horsefly in that area. People used to have their own hunting areas, like my dad had a hunting area around the Comer Ranch, towards likely Horsefly in those areas in there. He'd go out there and camp and bewachten, and reizen.
Swelsten in the fall time.
Nah. All year round, sometimes they'd be out there year round. My dad, the Comer Meadow, best milkslide, and clothesline, and reizen, and kegen. There used to be like a satellite one of those satellite villages where you used to go out and camp out and stay out there for a good part of the year, spring, summer, and into the fall. And then they would come back.
So where do you squashed the satellite village?
Achlum schostas klein en gaza en gege takalekla
Takalakla?
ja takalekla
Oh, ma'a.
taksagam stan next time la semest la takalekla tak kamas Lenus knem len gaza achlum schostas penslo achl lechais style tmech penslo.
Mm-hmm.
She used to do a lot of hunting and picking berries and wild potatoes and stuff. And they processed a lot of meat back
Oh,
there.
ma'a.
My mother became an expert probably back there. My dad being the expert handler. They always had meat and they always processing. They're always working and always.
Skunqueenum?
It's going to win them.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to win them. That's at a horse likely junction. But going to win them. Potato Mountain, they call it. Say laat tmech wheat dikum dus laat, but skunquinum.
Mm-hmm.
Es laat gevechtens es zo oosteling wagers daar grootstijn drazen en kegen oosteling Justus Frank Alphonse Pete Kraus, David Kraus, hier tmechstijn en skunquinum.
Oh, ma'a. Oh.
Het kleine koosjes eigenlijk een pep van zo in the 1960s. Met Pete Kraus was een Beckham en de koosjes. Dan was Frank Alphonse, Pete Kraus, David Kraus. They'd go out on their wagon.
Ma'a.
They'd camp out there for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month at a time, and they'd come back. Just like a number of people used to have different hunting areas. Like Felix Bob used to have a hunting area up past the mission down towards the 44 or south of the 44 areas. Different families used to have different hunting areas back there. And of course, it's klein, klein, Caesar, Lichtenberg Meadow. Klein wagon. White stem, so stem klein wagon. So the make. It sits on like stem. She's quantum slide was easily slided, it's all skacha.
Mm-hmm.
We take food or maybe some grain for the horses too.
Ma'a.
We'd camp out there. Sometimes we get a moose one night just as we get there, but we'll keep it till maybe stick around the next day, get another moose and come back the next day. If we didn't get one right there, we'll go up to Hanky Meadow. It's still really good hunting countries back there.
Skacham na Easters?
circumstance and Caesar chosen some slanna my grandsons all my which all Hoyolohum slan Tania my lad his circumstance my widow always Anna the oil my spechem Damascus Ost circumstance wheat dicum dust as ox Pantlo. At that time, he knew the area. He knew where the moose and the deer, a lot of them would hang out. And his hostolahons, and his hoyolahons, my uncle knew where most of the deer and the moose would hang out. They didn't just hang out just anywhere. He wouldn't just hunt anywhere. My uncle would go to certain places and he'd know these. You know the lay of the land, the water and the willows and all the feeding areas. My uncle knew that back there. So he'd take us right out here. From churches, took the nanos das, Thomas, Kakao Oist, mas Achot. He his historicum ze het neer as it say. You know my grandam my cotats clear and Juan on us my second my dixit. My uncle knew where they were and he knew the good feeding areas. He knew where there was lots of willows and where the deer habitat. This is the place he liked to be. So that's where we're going to be.
Did you dry it out there?
No.
Da.
If we're out there second 2 days maybe we'll be out there.
Oh.
2 days, lucky, because my uncle knew, but he knew the game country out there. He says we'll probably be out there no more than 2 days. We'll have a moose or two and we can come back. If we brought stuff back, my mom would start processing them right away right here. The sugar cane just right here. My uncle was one of the better hunters in the country that I knew of. He showed me the processing techniques around it. He showed me early how to handle game. And knick them here, which was good. He took an animals, man, damage. He was that good a hunter. He says, we won't be out there more than 2 days. By that time the game would be good to handle yet when we bring it back here. Mother would start smoking it right away as soon as we get it home.
Kujach na earlier, hakan Chimney Lake. Beckham.
Muslim Ahud tribe and Tlola and Khaja, Andrew. We used to go here from here over onward, Chimney Lake over in the other next valley, way up Felker Lake. We used to camp out there. Muslim Clamus Line Gaza, my dad used to have a working camp. They have a hen contract up there.
Oh, na'a.
But there was great hunting up there in the Chimney Valley, up the top of the Chimney Valley, Pilker Lake, up in there, Chimney Lake, Upper Valley, up in that way. Those lovers shorters who were deer, moose meat. We didn't even get some on the way. It'd probably take us from here to Pilker Lake. It'd probably take about maybe a good 3 hours by wagon from here over the onward ranch up and towards but they'd be hunting on the way up though. Always at the ready with their hunting gear, eh? Camas Pentlolo, Falker Lake, Oslam, Bechon, Slein, Kaitse, Andrew. Diggum Doe, Slayer, Dichtso, Slay, Pentlo. He used to get the game all the time, always meet for the camp all the time for a hen crew up there, my dad. He didn't even have to go very far, just most would be right around the slide and slide, you stand slide, the nail, see. The game was right around by near the haying meadows. Sometimes I'd go out with somebody, go and dragging a moose. I'd be riding on top of the moose and the horse would be dragging the moose along. The hunter would use one of the haying crew horses. Oslam Geeltse moest blijven kloot laten. Eigenlijk dicht zoals van kloot. Zie, voor de ooi leid ik hem dus.
De hatch. Begonnen de hatch. De hatch. De elk.
Nou,
Da'a.
dat is een alias dat ik mocht als een wagen blijven kloot. Eigenlijk chillen. Toch het neer, zie, dat is zo.
Okay.
Ja. En we blijven kloot, damals gezet het blijven. Echt blijven als een wagen blijven dus. The near we didn't have to go too far a lot of the times back there. Chilling wasn't alias, lucky honor. With the oil Milmates, most of that meadow down there was willow. There's moose down there staying there east of Stipe and Clough because there's so much willow down there. It's been they processed these meadows so to take down a lot of most of the willow. There used to be lots of moose around. They used to camp in there. Somebody sometimes used to go down there and get a moose and cut out only what they needed, and then they spread the word around here in the village. Tell somebody if you want a moose, you go down there. They show you where the moose is, and you help yourself down there. That would happen quite often back there. My dad used to talk about it. Even Uncle Frank, he'd go down and get a moose or something down here in the willows. Take only some and give the rest of it away. Yeah. The Litzenberg dogs. Cacao always laid 150 Usling was Jimmy McKenzie was me and Pete, Uncle Jim would stay at Jimmy McKenzie's place there. We'd hunt moose there. Of all things, we had a hunting party. About 5 of us from the mission went up there one time. Jim Wycott and Bill Sellars, Bill O'Donovan, a couple others, Alec Point, who went out there. Just first one evening. If you can imagine, we took 7 moose out of there in one evening.
Oh.
It sounded like almost insane, but we went in there just by the meadow there, Lichtenberg. Sounded like a war when we saw a whole herd of moose over there. Alec Point, one of the hunters, says, asked Jim Wycott, what's that over there? Jim says, never mind, start shooting. The whole bunch of moose.
A herd. Oh.
Sounded like a war. I had split off. I had to come around the Cananos down near Berg. And as soon as I got halfway around the circle and I could hear them guys start firing away, all that rifle fire in there. Sounded like a little war. Crazy. Jim McKenzie had his house right there across the meadow in Kathy. Jim had a 1-ton cattle truck. He hauled all that moose. Jimmy took one of the moose. Gave Jimmy one of the moose. Jim Wycott took one. Bill Sellars took one. Alec Point took one. And I took another one. And Jimmy gave away a couple more of those moose. That was crazy. I don't know why we took so many, but we handled them all, though.
Mm-hmm.
We were busy there for a couple of days. Cleaning up those moose.
Beckham and Beaver Valley.
We used to go through there only fairly lately in my life, up to maybe 30-some years ago before I used to go in there, Beaver Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Like from McLeish Lake, you go up the highway here up to McLeish Lake and go in through Beaver Valley and back in there.
So there was just enough around here that you didn't have to go too far.
You didn't have to go far, no. Yeah. But the way back there, like the satellite villages back there, people used to go out. You'd never see them for a couple of seasons. Yeah, like summer and maybe spring, summer, and we're back in late fall. Like I'd go out to the satellite village. There was a satellite village there by McKinley Lake. I don't know if you know where that is.
Uh-uh.
There's a village right there. There's a Kikuli village right there.
Oh, uh-uh.
I picked up a couple of artifacts from a couple of Kikuli. The stands like Kalmucht and McKinley Lake, right along the McKinley River.
Uh-uh. Kosalten na Elia. Kosalten na Elia. De Kalmucht na McKinley. Kosalten naus.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's when they used to stay in Glendale.
Uh-uh.
This was in the satellite villages around McKinley, horsefly likely areas. But it was up over 30 years ago. I used to travel into McKinley Lake I started looking around in there for artifacts, and I discovered those keek willies, and Aggie and I were together. I picked up a couple of artifacts, and a couple of flint heads in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some where the salmon come up from the Horsefly River up into McKinley. Must be great fishing in there too. It's probably a great game country right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Moose and deer and salmon come up in a little river there out of the Horsefly River.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's no Westolach and Slide. Mix. Secwepemctsi
Mm-hmm.
van Klauw. I used to hunt down the Chimney Valley, down where the Chimney Creek goes into down Flat Rock. The Chimney empties into the Fraser River. I used to hunt down in there.
Oh,
We were fishing down there right to Stampede. We used to be down there over 2 weeks down in Chimney, Flat Rock area, camped down there. But every other day I'd go out hunting around the area looking for deer. I'd get deer down there
Mm-hmm.
just for a break from all that salmon fishing.
Oh, yeah.
But Mom used to be good at processing salmon all the time. Daybreak, nighttime she'd be at it. Lots of processing.
Lalink?
Sort of.
Okay. Hakan you eat stooks?
Nah, pin.
Okay, So, okay, so you eat stooks?
Yeah.
Eat stooks pien de seat? You eat stooks?
Nah,
Hakan chkiets na alia, da stelkam stetten? Hakan ma kwartjets de bicham, de yeastes?
nah,
Another time hakan beschapt nochem?
yeah,
So I'm just telling them maybe in the spring we can go out to the places that he hunted.
yeah, ik ook zeggen.